like, what's going on? And I just, like, started crying. I was like, well, I guess I'm not good. And so I just started breaking down, and I'm just like, honestly, like, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, I keep messing up. Like, I'm, like, falling back. I was like, I don't know if there's something wrong with me. I was like, but I don't get why it's so hard. Like, all these people, I see them come here. They're, like, worshiping God. They, like, just have, like, no doubts, no questions. Like, they just believe, you know? They have such a strong faith. And, like, even the guest speakers, I'm like, how do they get to this point? Like, they just almost, like, know that God's real, you know? And I'm like, and it's like, I try to do that, you know, but then I mess up, or I fall back, or I doubt, or I question, and I'm like, and maybe that's, like, separating me from God. I was like, but I don't get why it's so hard, because, like, all I wanted was Jesus. All I wanted was to just know him in a personal relationship, in a personal experience, and, like, I never got that. And I was, like, I was sad, but I was mad, too. I was genuinely was just, like, I don't understand. You know, come heal me or set me free. Like, you're doing it for all these people, but then why not me? Like, I'm so done, you know, like God, if you don't do something, like, I'm done. Like, I'll get back and I give up. God, like, please, like, I need you. Like, I need you to come through, because, like, I don't know what else to do. Like, clearly something's wrong with me, you know? And, so then the service starts and you go into worship, and worship was fine. Nathan, like, the way that he was, like, preaching the word is, like, he doesn't sugarcoat it or make it light. Like, he literally, like, says it how it is, and it penetrates. And so I was really, like, resonating with it, and I was like, okay, like, it was weird. It was, like, it was so real, but also convicting, and I'm like, oh, like, that's what I want. And I remember I was like, I want that, like, for instance, Nathan Morris, he can speak like that because it's real for him, you know, like, it's the truth, and, like, he just has such a strong faith and belief, and I'm like, what, like, why can't I have that, you know, like, I want that, because I was already doubting so much. I was like, I don't really want to go up there, you know, and then I just had this feeling of, like, just, like, go up, like, just go up, and I was like, oh, like, I really don't want to do this, and so I was like, okay, like, I'm just gonna go in the back. So, like, they had, there was, like, the stage, and then kind of this floor room, and then chairs lined up. And so they pushed the chairs back, and I remember I, like, slowly, like, walked up, and I stood, like, right back by the chairs, because I was like, all right, I'm back here, like, no one's gonna touch me, no one's gonna see me, you know, like. And before, when I would go up, I remember I was, like, curious of, like, I wanted to watch what would happen, you know, like, when people would, like, get prayed for or touched, you know, or have encounters. So I was, like, curious of that, but then at the same time I was like, God, like, I want to encounter. But before, where my heart and my mind was I thought, I was like, I need, like, somebody to touch me, you know. I was like I want them to come pray for me, you know, like, that's where I thought it would happen. It wasn't like, oh, I'm looking at you, Jesus, you know, like, I'm focusing on you. And so at this time, because I was already just, like, I kind of, like, gave up on all that, I'm in the back by the chairs, and I remember we just, like, start, like, saying the prayer, and at this time I was just like, Jesus, like, I just want you, like, I just want you, like, please, like, I remember I was just so upset. So I started, like, praying, and immediately he, like, drops me to my knees, and I'm on my knees, and I'm just like telling him everything I've been doing, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, like, I'm sorry, I'm like, I don't know what else to do. Like, I finally was in a position of, like, it's not only that I want to, but, like, I literally, like, I need you, you know, like, I need you, I need your help, like, I don't know what else to do. I literally can't stop doing this stuff. I can't, like, I'm not happy. And it was just kind of like the end. Like, this is, like, the final call. Like, if you don't save me now, like, I'm done. And I'm like saying all this, and I fall forward, and now, like, I'm on the ground, and, like, while I'm in this position, my, like, eyes are shut, and I'm just stuck there, and I just start seeing, like, it was weird, because I wasn't, like, verbally, like, talking about the things that, like, I guess I was repenting for, but I started seeing, like, the things that I, like, had done, or, like, I was struggling with. It was like he was, like, showing me, and for once, like, I don't know how to explain this, like, God knows we can say any word we want, right? Like, we can pray out these things, but he knows where your heart posture is. And this was the first time I think my heart posture was truly in a place of, like, I'm truly wanting to give this up, you know, like, I actually, like, am coming before you. I want you, you know, because before I was saying it, but I still enjoyed those things, you know, I still wanted to live that. And now I was in a position of full surrender. And so, like, while I'm down, I just get, like, the fire, like, all through my body. And, like, I had, like, heard about the fire of the Lord before, but, like, I never personally experienced it, and there was just fire through my body. And as he's, like, showing me all these things, it was on the ground where, like, I feel like he literally came and like pulled out, it was like this weight, but he was pulling out everything that like I was struggling with, like all addictions, all the soul ties, like complete, just literally like pulling it out of me. And it was on the ground, like that was when I first encountered like the Lord. It was literally like, as I was on the ground, and as this was going on, I don't remember how long I was there. I honestly couldn't tell you, but I just was on the ground for a while. I remember hearing my name, and they're like, oh, like, is there an Emily? And I heard my name, but I was just too, like, in this moment where I wasn't, I was like, maybe it's not me. The next thing, I think they say it again, and then all of a sudden, like, these, like, two guys, like, come and they're, like, picking me up. And, like, at this moment when they picked me up, like, I opened my eyes, and I could see my feet, I could see my legs, I could see the ground, but I can't feel anything. And I'm like, I'm conscious, but I'm not fully there. But I could literally see, and I'm like, why can't I walk? Like, in my head, I'm thinking, like, why can't I move? You know, like, I just, like, drag me up to the stage, and then I remember right when I, like, get up there, like, when Nathan comes over to me, I only lifted my head once. I, like, lift up my head, and I remember right when I looked into his eyes, it was the fear of the Lord, like, straight through my body, because it was like, it wasn't that, like, I saw a man, it was like, this is, like, Jesus talking to me, and immediately, like, I put down my head, because I felt, like, not, like, this unworthiness, but it was, like, fear, almost, but not, like, terrified fear, you know, of something, like, scary, but it was, like, literally just the fear of the Lord, if I can explain it, like, this person who knows, like, everything, you know, and so I, like, draw my head, and as he starts praying over me, I keep feeling this weight just, like, going down, and I remember I was, like, trying to, like, fight it, like, poor man, whoever, I was, like, holding his wrist, but I was, like, gripping onto that, like, so he continues with the weight, and then, like, at this time, it was just, like, confirmation after confirmation after confirmation. And so then I was like on the floor, and at the time, like, I heard him releasing these words, but right after I could not tell you exactly what he said. And so after I, like, get up, I remember I, like, get myself off the stage, and I go over to the wall, and I'm just, like, shaking, like my body, I was just on fire. I could not stop shaking probably the rest of the night. I couldn't even talk. Like, I was just like, all I could say was like, yes, like, I believe, like, yes, I believe, like, because, like, for the first time, it was like, I genuinely could say in my whole being, like, God's real, like, Jesus is real, like, this is so real, and all I could say and repeat was like, yes, I believe it, yes, I believe it. Like, I couldn't talk, I didn't even want to talk, like, people kept, you know, like, they were, like, coming up to me, and, like, I was just like, I don't even want to talk, like, I just need to go home and be alone with the Lord. Like, I was just, like, I think my body was trying to process what just happened, and so, like, eventually, like, they get me back to the house, and, like, I'm just, like, coming down from this and processing, and I remember I was just crying and just, like, weeping, and I was like, wow, like, and I felt so bad because I doubted him, but at the same time, like, honestly, for me, as I was pleading before, like, if it wasn't real, then, like, I'm not gonna do it, right? And so, like, I used to doubt these things, and I think God knew, like, just the person that I am, like, he's got to do something big to where he fully smacks me to where I can't, like, deny that he is real for me to believe it. Because, you know, I've had people, like, release words over me, or, you know, they'll release, like, something encouraging, right? And you're like, oh, that's nice, it sounds sweet, but, you know, there's still room for doubt, you know what I mean? Like, you can be like, oh, like, that, you can, I guess, forget that easier than if you have a true encounter. And for me, like, I didn't need a word, I didn't need, you know, someone to pray over me, like, because I encountered God by myself on the floor, and that's when it was like, I can't even deny your power, you know? And then, of course, the cherry on top of, like, this person I've never met in my life, and I know it wasn't him, I know it was honestly Jesus speaking through him calling me by name, like, that's another confirmation of, like, you know, and God just knew, like, okay, she can't deny this, you know, like, this is something, like, she can't sit here and say, like, oh, like, he's not real, you know, like, he just knew. I was just standing there, and he was like, you look so in love, and I was like, I am, like, I remember, like, I just felt, I was filled with love, I was filled with joy, like, right after, it was just this fire, and it was because, like, how he impacted me, like, it did change my heart, you know, like, I had a hardened heart, I was very cold before, it was easier for me to suppress things, it was easier for me to, you know, put on this tough face and, you know, like, not show my emotions, but now it's like, I'm crying, like, over something that is not even sad, you know, like, I'm crying all the time, and, like, my heart was so warm, but they weren't always sad tears, it was just like, wow, like, I fell in love. You know, like I don't think I had loved him before. I knew about him, but you can't love someone that you don't have a relationship with. You know, you can know of them. You can be like, oh, I know this person, but you don't have an intimate relationship. You don't have that love. You know, they don't know your heart. And so right after, like, I was just filled with love. I was, you know, and it wasn't just love for him, but it was also for the word. Like, immediate after, I remember, like, I just had a burning desire. Like, I just wanted to be in the Word. It was just, like, and it was easy. It was, like, before, like, I'd get kind of bored sometimes, you know? Like, reading the Bible is not always that exciting. But, like, I looked at it as, like, you know, stories, which they are, but it was entertaining. It was, like, I wanted to read it. I wanted to spend time with him because I was, like, okay, like, I remember I had my Bible, and I had, like, this weird moment of, like, and it seems so surreal, but, like, I was looking at it, and I'm like, this is, like, these are your words. Your words are you, and like this is life. You know, like the words can literally come to life, like they're real. And so I was like, I want to take you everywhere with me. Like I remember I was like holding my Bible all the time. I had it like in my bed, you know, like I have it like I'm like sleeping with it. I'm like I want to be with you, like you're alive. Like not obsession, but this like desire of like I want to be with you as much as I can. You know, I was just filling myself with the word because when something's removed, you need to fill that because there's a space. And so it was easy for me this time to fill that space with the word because I was in love. You know, I had the joy and I had the fire. Like I just had this fire because it was real. You know, I think that's why the biggest change is because now it was real for me, you know, and I had that understanding.